unfortunately, we're singing from a similar tune here because we're talking once again about a game where for the first quarter and a half we were very, very good.
That's right.
But then we let a team steal momentum on us and they took the game away from us from there.
Yeah. We think at the 20-minute mark of the first quarter, we were 2-2 to 1 goal 2. And then they got goals at the 20th, 22nd and 25th minute of the first quarter, which gave them a 2-goal lead at quarter time. And we were in the game in many ways, except on the scoreboard. You know, there's not a lot of issues about a 2-goal deficit at quarter time. At half time, the margin was 20 points. But again, they got 2 goals between the 20th and the 25th minute, one at the 21, one at 23. So the point I made to the boys is that you have to continue to play the game right out. And I felt that if we had been able to do that in the first half, we'd have been around the mark. And then it's a far different mindset when you go in at half time and you're around the mark. Because we did a lot of things right. You know, we were good around the ball, got the ball forward. We think we might have got the ball forward more than the opposition. So it still comes back to the quality of the ball use of the opposition.
Yeah, a bit of credit where it's due as well. The Dandenong Stingrays were very good today, and their defensive half, they took a lot of intercept marks. Yes,
they did, yeah. And that defensive, the ability to mark the ball defensively is what we admire about Flynn Appleby. It's a player who's learning his craft really well, whether it's one of our boys or an opposition, to know when to get off your opponent and win the ball. Because ultimately, that's the best way to defend, is get the ball back. And you're right, they did that very, very well. They're a very impressive side.
There's 2 rounds to go now. Is there anything that you might take out of today that you're going to focus on in particular? I thought
at 3/4 time we said to our boys, all right, let's be fairly brave with the ball, and with that becomes a little bit of white knuckle stuff that you can give the ball up. So what we did was just between the arcs, we just said we're just going to be brave, and everyone knew that that's what we were trying to do. So I thought it led to some pretty good ball, pretty good supply inside our forward 50, which is reinforced by the number of times inside the forward 50. It's now a matter of just saying, okay, when we get it in there, which we did in the last quarter against the Bushies, when we get it in there, can we either win it or control it and get another go at it? Or we couldn't do that today.
Did you feel a bit of a sense of occasion today, obviously, given how massive the weekend of football has been in Ballarat, with our first ever AFL game yesterday, 3 games today, a big crowd in, and just really, you could still feel a bit of the atmosphere from the AFL game here yesterday. Yeah,
you could, And the thing about it is, Sean, that our people who came today and the visiting teams who came today walked into an AFL stadium. Before this weekend, we'd been talking about AFL footy at our ground. Today, they're coming after an AFL game, and an AFL game for 4 points that had the lot in terms of a contest. So, I know I've been doing a lot of media about this particular subject, but we all should be very, very proud of what we have achieved at this particular ground. We also should be very, very proud that as a provincial city, we provide a capital city experience. You don't have to go to Melbourne or Geelong to see AFL footy. You can see it here in Ballarat. And I said to the parents that those players who are coming through our development programs will be enormous beneficiaries of playing and developing their football in this high quality stadium. It was a very, very significant moment, and I think, what will it look like in 40 years' time? What will we reflect back on and say, we all remember that day back in 2017, August 2017, when we played our very first AFL game of footy. I bet you it'll grow a lot more in 40 years, as has Launceston, as has some of those other major stadiums outside the capital cities.
One more game for us here at Mars Stadium this year, taking on the Court Cannons next Sunday at 11:30am. Another challenge for the boys, obviously 2 more to go for the year.
That's right, and the way our blokes are coached, they'll be looking at every game that they can play, quarter by quarter, to see how good that they can be. So it's have a real go at the Bushies in the last quarter. Look what happened. So at times today, particularly early, when we looked very, very good, so that people who come and watch us play, people who are interested in us, people who are invested in us, we will be playing every quarter, so it means everything for our football lives, because that's the best way to teach these good young players. Every game matters, every quarter matters.
Sorry about that. I suppose a bit more of a regular week this week. No school footy as well, which has interrupted training patterns a little bit for a good reason. The school footy games are fantastic.
Yes.
A great cause, but it'd be good to get back into a regular routine, so to speak.
Yes, it would be. Yeah, and that starts off straight away now when we go home and start reviewing the game and have everything ready for when the boys first walk in the door on Tuesday night. And as you said, business as usual. There's an opposition to play next week. What can we learn? Get on with learning it.
Well, it's time to go home. You're right. We've been here for a lot of hours over these past few days, Coach.
Yep.
So go home, enjoy our families, and we'll reconvene on Tuesday night and get ready for the coming week.
Good on you, Sean. Look forward to it.
Thanks, Coach.